this is Natalie Grant.
Hi, this is Darlene Chick.
Hey, this is Alan Hall from Sailor.
Hello, my name is Jerome from the band Switchfoot, and you are listening to Life Changing Radio.
WSDK.
WSDK.
1550 AM.
1550.
I'm joined in studio by Monday morning co-host Maryann Kelly. Happy President's Day to you.
Good morning.
We just had a nice chat with MJ Tomsick of St. Bartholomew's Church in Manchester. What a great idea to recycle prom dresses and make it more affordable for a teenage girl to afford a prom dress, because I've never bought one, but I understand they're pretty pricey.
Yeah, I mean, even years ago when I went to my prom, it was a daunting task.
Yeah.
You'd go with a girlfriend to the mall and you'd shop around and you knew you didn't have enough money in your purse to buy the dress that you really wanted. But this is a fabulous opportunity. You get to shop right there at St. Bartholomew's.
Yeah.
I just think it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, and it's all about the dress, right? For a teen girl going to the prom, right?
Yeah, it's the image. You need to be able to have the right color, the right size, etc. But it sounds like they have a great event going on for a great cause.
Yeah. So and it helps a church youth ministry out with their upcoming conference trip this fall. So check it out.
The new AM 1550 is Life Changing Radio. WSDK.
Life-changing radio, WSDK, the latest from Audio Adrenaline, Kings and Queens at 7:45. It's 16 degrees, and that's a great song. I always get that song stuck in my head. Joining us in studio is Maryann Kelly. Would you agree?
I absolutely would, Al. Yeah. This morning, some people haven't seen that video yet for Kings and Queens.
Right.
And it's really moving, very inspirational. You see them take the footage out to, third
Mission
world
trips that they've
countries.
gone to,
and Kevin Max is now the lead singer in
Right.
Audio Adrenaline. This is a change. This is a shift from the past. You all remember Kevin Max from
DC Talk,
DC
of course.
Talk, of course.
Right, and so because Mark Stewart, the original lead singer of Audio A, basically kind of blew his throat out doing all that screaming and headbanging for years.
Yeah.
So he can't really sing anymore. He can barely speak. But they auditioned a few new members of potential lead singers, and K-Max got the call, originally from DC Talk. Done a great job with it. It's kind of a reboot for him as well as the band. So I call it Audio Adrenaline 2.0. And they had a mission that called Hands and Feet, which is their mission, missionary outreach from the band to go to third world countries and bring the gospel to those countries. And so frontman Mark Stewart got together with his bass player and realized, you know what? Audio Adrenaline doesn't have to go away as a band. It can continue. And so their plan right now is the proceeds for the new upcoming album is going to all fund Hands and Feet.
And I love that. That is God at work in
cool.
their lives.
Right.
Because, things happen to people. People get hurt.
Yeah.
People get disabilities in their lives. And, after this happens, do you stop?
Right.
Do you say this is the end? No, God has a plan.
Right.
God has a purpose.
Cool.
So I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And, we also should mention, of course, Toby Mac.
Of
very
course. Very
successful right now.
Very solo career
And
now.
Michael Tate.
Right.
He's
Formerly
with the
of DC
Newsboys. So they're all back on the Christian horizon.
Yeah.
We are happy. We welcome them. It is exciting
They
news.
sound good.
Yeah.
So we were talking before about some tips that you have for families.
Right. I've been doing a little bit of reading and really enjoying, what I've been seeing out there in some articles. There's a BMC public health study that was done about kids being cooped up in the classrooms. And, for moms and dads out there and your kids come home, they're starving. They've been cooped up. They don't have enough recess time a lot of times. And so at this point in the day, you're focusing on homework. You're now home, you're watching them come home, you're thinking, all right, kids, you got to get to your homework first and foremost. But that is not what this journal and this study has found is the best for kids. They say that kids have to go outside when they get home, do some of that weight-bearing exercise, running, shooting hoops, just playing old-fashioned play in the backyard. And then after they've gotten their daily dose of energy out, come on in, have some dinner, and hit the books at night.
So
now, what do you think about that?
You don't think kids should do their homework right away and kind of get that over with, and then they can have some free time to play?
I'll tell you what, it is individual, I would say.
Okay.
You know, I have 2 kids, Al, and my older one, he is this type of a kid who would benefit from playing, getting
Burn
that
some
all
energy
out,
off,
and then hitting his books at night. But if you're in tune with your kids and you know, even from kindergarten, this is the way that they've been.
That's how
They
they're
are more
wired.
productive at 7 p.m.
Than they are
It
at
can be a
4.
little frustrating for parents because you think, hey, they got to go to bed at 7 p.m. when they're really young.
Right.
But that's when they're the most productive. Then you can have, child number 2 who is exactly different, comes home, hits the books, and then goes out to play.
Okay.
So I think you have to give a little bit of leeway to both, but it does fly in the face of that you come home from school and you're going to do your homework.
That's how I grew up. Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, if you've ever been in the public schools, substituting in a classroom,
Or
etc.,
teaching, right.
even helping out a teacher, when you come home, you'll feel that same pain that your children do.
Yeah, so
of the fatigue
you either
of
want to
the
crash
day.
or take a nap.
Yeah, the
or
fatigue of the day.
blow off some steam outside.
You got it. So
Right.
God bless all of our Christian teachers out there
There
who
you
are
go.
listening.
Good.
I also want to talk about home away from home. This is
Yeah.
vacation week. Many of our families are going out there and enjoying sunny parts of the country
Right.
this week.
Instead
and
of the cold, snowy Northeast.
Right. The trend now is to not go and shack up in a hotel.
Hmm.
It's to go have a home away from home experience,
Oh,
even
so
if
like-
it's a motor home.
Okay.
You're going to go and look for that real home setting where you can cook your own food. You can not be just confined to one room in a hotel.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of sites out there that are emerging now, such as homeaway.com,
Okay.
where people put their homes up. They're winter
depending on where they
homes or
live,
summer
right.
homes.
Okay, maybe a timeshare or
Yep,
something.
they put it up on homeaway.com and they say you can rent our home for the week. And so
okay.
people come on in and they really enjoy that type of a thing. Of course, there's some hazards to beware of when you're checking into this home away from home. Make sure that the person who owns the home is with you during the whole checklist process
okay,
so that
right.
you know that everything is the way it's supposed to be and
Right,
you can
right.
leave it the same.
Right, and you don't want to, if you're renting out one of your homes, and maybe a beach property somewhere, that you don't want it trashed by whoever comes in
Exactly.
and then leaves.
Exactly. So there's a vetting process
Yeah.
that happens there and some references, but it's really a fabulous way to save some money
Right.
and to give your family the experience of some luxury, some
Right.
some feeling
Hominess,
of
a little hominess
yeah.
instead of sort of this sterile hotel room. or
That's
something.
right. That's
Interesting.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want to talk to you about the truth about eggs. I know a lot of us. Yes, I said
love eggs.
like chicken bok bok, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, eggs have gotten a bad rap in the past.
Right, high
then
cholesterol
everybody said it
and-
was a good thing.
Right.
Oh, they're really good for you. Eat 2 a day.
Right, source of protein.
I know. Well, the pendulum has shifted the other direction.
Again?
Once again, the Journal of the American College of Nutrition has said that eating eggs does raise heart disease risk.
Come on.
And, I have to tell you that I love eggs.
Yeah,
I would like to eat them every day. And there are some days that I do.
sure.
Sometimes I even eat them twice a day. But, some people have said in this journal, this journal has cited that the cholesterol that you consume in food has a relatively small effect on the cholesterol in your bloodstream.
Okay.
But that study equates eggs and cigarettes. I mean, they're trying to really
What?
kind of devalue the egg. So I'm still for it. I'm still a proponent. But I do want to bring that out to you.
Yeah,
That
see, I guess my problem is too, if I'm going to eat an egg or scramble it or put it in an omelet or something, then of course I'm going to want to load it up with some veggies or, some ham or cheese.
Right,
Because
right.
that tastes so good with an egg, but obviously that's going to, ham and cheese alone are going to bump up your cholesterol.
You're doubling your protein. Eggs are very high in protein
Already,
and
yeah.
Only 1 gram of saturated fat. So when you eat them solo,
Not so bad.
such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, right. The
Yeah.
perfect food.
Right, right.
Self-contained. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Maryann, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Those are really great tips for the home. That was very cool. And we'll check your weather and traffic together first. We have enough time later. We'll bring up another one that you might have.
Sure. I have one more great bit for listeners out there. So thank you, Al. It's been a pleasure.
WSDK, Bloomfield, Hartford.
Good morning and welcome back to Rise and Shine. It's coming up on 7:58. 16 degrees right now, only hitting a high of 32. But the wind chill, even though the sun is out, with the breeze is going to be quite chilly today. So expect it to feel much colder than it actually is on the thermometer. Join us back here tomorrow morning, 6 to 8 a.m. for more Rise and Shine. We've got your local news, weather, traffic, and sports, church announcements, and great contemporary Christian music. Our thanks to Maryann Kelly, who was our Monday morning co-host this morning. Maryann, take us out with one more tip for homes and families.
You got it, Al. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics recently found through a survey that 40% of us avoid buying fresh fruits and vegetables because of our concerns about cost. It's more expensive than if we buy cookies and things like that for our kids to snack on or ourselves.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, buy that produce because it rings in at roughly 25 cents per serving, whereas cookies and crackers cost about 30 cents a serving. So, and you know what? They last in your bloodstream longer. They've got better nutrition.
Absolutely.
Buy those fruits and vegetables. Bone up your bones on those.
Doesn't matter if it seems more expensive, it actually isn't in the long run.
You got it.
Leave
Leave those cookies, crackers, and chips behind.
All right.
And not on your behind.
Oh, there you go. Ba-dum boom. Thank you very much, Maryann. Appreciate the great tips today for your family and home. Always some good stuff. Thanks for joining us on Life-Changing Radio for Greater Hartford. We're WSDK 1550 AM, Bloomfield, Hartford. Your SRN News is next. Don't forget to contact us here at the radio station if you'd like to participate in our Focus on Faith program, where you and your pastor can be featured here on Rise and Shine and throughout Life-Changing Radio. It's a great opportunity, and for right now, it's for free. So sign up your church and your pastor. Focus on Faith here on Life-Changing Radio.
Rise and Shine has been brought to you in part by First Church of Christ in Wethersfield, with Sunday morning services at 8:45 and 10:30. Find them online at firstchurch.org, and listen to First Thing with Pastor Derek Richenberg every weekday morning at about 7:10.
We're life-changing radio for the Greater Hartford area, 1550 AM WSDK.